Hive.
I'm in danger.
Oh, hell no.
And now we return you to our regular scheduled program.
Hold up. Hold up.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Two Dumb Yinzers. Welcome. This is season 3, everybody.
Yes.
First episode of season 3, the first season 3 episode you're ever going to see of the Two Dumb Yinzers. Here we are, back from vacation. Mike, where did you go over vacation?
My couch.
Your couch?
Yeah.
You mean we didn't give you enough time off? I thought you were going to go to Greece or, somewhere exotic.
No, nowhere exotic. You did not give me enough time off at all.
See, I thought I was giving you too much time off, so I maybe we'll have to look into this.
Yeah, I think we are. It's a bit ridiculous.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back. This is episode 151, the very first episode of season 3. And you know what? And you know what? I missed it, Mike. I missed every second of it. It's a dreary day here in Pittsburgh. So we're going to try to liven up your spirits a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. We had an amazing weekend as far as sports goes. Football was probably one of the crazier weekends that I can remember in a long time. And we got a lot of good stuff for you. But anyway, welcome back to season 3, everybody. Thank you so much. Mike, a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, a lot of crazy things happened over the weekend as far as football goes. Just touch real quick on this college tip just to get it out of the way. Pitt wins 34-13 over Western Michigan at Western Michigan. They stay at number 24. They come home to play Rhode Island next week. In Penn State, the Nittany Lions, they beat Auburn 41-12. 41-12 this weekend. Their next game is at home against Central Michigan. They are sitting at number 14. So there you go. You got all of our college sports team, all of our college football teams. I'm sorry, they are sitting in the ranked positions, the top 25 rankings. But you know what? That's not what we want to talk about today.
No.
We want to talk about, of course, the first place Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, first place.
First, and we'll take it any way we can get it, boys.
Yes, we sure can. And you know what way we took it this week? The whole damn division loss. That's how we took it. We'll take it. Mike.
Yes.
17-14, the New England Patriots beat the Steelers. It definitely wasn't the days.
New platform and Ryan still freezing. It's nice to see things never change over the break.
Yeah. So anyway, Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger are far gone from this series now. I mean, it was like a different game. It wasn't even like it was the Steelers and the Patriots, was it?
No, it was not. God, the last time they said it was a Bledsoe versus. Yeah. Drew Bledsoe versus wow, we lost Ryan completely. And let's see here. Ryan is back. Yes. We lost the first game since we didn't have these two quarterbacks. The last one that we had was Drew Bledsoe versus Cordell Stewart.
1998, Mike. 1998.
And like the quarterback play wasn't even that good. This game compared to that last game. My God.
No, the bookends. Excuse me. The bookends on the two Hall of Famers. You had Bledsoe and Cordell, and Trubisky and Mac Jones are the two bookends on the great careers and the great matchups and series between the Patriots and the Steelers with Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger under center. So it was a little different. A lot of people, there's a generation and a half that hasn't even known the Steelers without this quarterback and known the Patriots without Tom Brady. So here we go, man. We're off to a whole new ride.
And I don't think it's going to be a pretty one.
No, I don't either. You know what? This was two mediocre teams at best.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the one thing that really set this game apart, there was a couple of things. The Patriots didn't make many little mistakes. They really handled the fundamentals well, where the Steelers did not. And the second part of this is I feel that the big plays by New England are what ultimately killed the Steelers. The play that bounced off our DB, went right through our DB's hands, and the guy, can't think of his name, for New England caught it and ran it in for a touchdown. I mean, it was big plays. It wasn't like they came out and methodically moved the ball around. There was, a lot of the game was pretty even, which I thought the Steelers defense should have had the edge over the New England Patriots offense, but that wasn't the case. But it was just this little niche back and forth game. Let's inch, let's punt, let's punt, and a big play here, a big play there. And like I said, New England didn't make the mistakes. They didn't make the little mistakes. The fundamentals, I think, is what won them the game ultimately.
Yeah, you're 100% right. They did the little things right, and the Steelers couldn't do anything right. It was a top to bottom shambles for this team. Offense, defense, special teams.
Yeah.
And it was just like that one big play, well, two big plays. That touchdown pass over Akilo Witherspoon, where it was a 50-50 ball. He had great coverage. The other receiver just made the play. I wish Akilo would have made the play. Wish he would have, jumped a little bit sooner, got his hand up there or something. But he was right on the guy. And then Gunner, that was a huge swing right there. Muffing that punt, giving them great field position.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back, in my opinion, because if you still play field position, New England doesn't get the ball down there. They scored a touchdown off that turnover. So, I think that was a huge play in a game where mistakes went a long way. The play with Witherspoon that I spoke about earlier that you mentioned also had, you really couldn't have covered that guy any better. That was probably the best coverage we were going to get.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the way the ball bounces. Unfortunately, that was the touchdown that again broke the camel's back. And 17-14 loss to a team that I don't think was much better, much worse than we were. I think it was a pretty evenly matched game.
I do too. Oh man, where do we start analyzing this game? Do you want to go offense or defense first?
Yeah, let's start on the offense.
Let's start there. Offense is in shambles. Let's start with the post game. Players hinting at the play calling that's the play calling fault. Especially for nothing attacking the middle of the field.
No, you're right, man. It wasn't like they did a whole lot of great things on offense. And you know what? As far as play calling goes, how deep is your playbook? Because, in my opinion, the way the Steelers played yesterday and the way their porous line was, I think that you could have went 30 pages into the playbook and probably not found what it is that you're looking for to overcome what happened yesterday.
And that line getting no push in the run game again. And when they did get a push in the run game, Najee is just not hitting the hole.
Yeah.
And you saw Jalen Warren was the more explosive back out of the two.
Absolutely.
It's very disappointing. That very first run play of the game, the line blocked it perfectly. Najee had that lane right up the middle. He could have ran. At least 5-yard gain. He bounces outside for a 1-yard run. It's not just the fans saying it. Trey Essex broke it down on Twitter. He had the perfect screen cap of it. And this is someone who played offensive line for the Steelers. He knows blocking schemes for the most part. Yeah, they probably changed here and there over the years, but it's still the same. or similar. I mean, so he was like, look, he's like, look, there's all these holes here, and then he bounces it outside. So this isn't just some schlub sitting in his living room saying this. This is, a former pro.
Yeah.
And if you have players making those bad decisions when the line finally gives you good blocking assignments, this is bad. But then, for the most part, though, there really wasn't a whole lot there after that run. So, all right, it's just that line was not that good. He really didn't get Mitch Trubisky sacked that much. A lot of it, you could have said it was on him, but you're taking a 3-step drop and this guy's already on you. That's not good. Luckily, he has escapability, but he does need to attack the middle of the field more. Even if the plays aren't there, there's still guys running across the middle. You can still attempt there. You can still attempt a deep pass. Where's George Pickens? That was like his favorite receiver.
Throw the ball 30 yards, 40 yards down the field, down the middle of the field, over the safeties' heads. Just something. You got to get that ball down the middle of the field at some point during the game to neutralize the defense.
And a lot of this, I'm wondering, is we saw last year there's a lot of conservative play calling, but Ben would still take shots down the field. Was that just the veterans saying, you know what, I'm not going to listen to this offensive coordinator who's calling these stupid plays. I'm going to take the shots down the field. And is Trubisky like, hey, I'm the new guy here. I don't have that cachet in this organization or really in the league to go rogue and start doing what I want to do. But we saw him run the no huddle. He moved that offense at the no huddle. So is he calling the plays, or is he getting an option to plays and choosing what he wants to do? If that's the case, let him do that.
Absolutely. You got to give your quarterback that reign. You have to. You can't make your quarterback feel that he's trapped within the offense, because this is what you're going to get. You need the guy to be able to ad-lib a little bit. And like I said, if that means just taking the ball and chucking it down the field 35, 40 yards to back the safeties off the line, to move your linebackers out a little bit, that's what you got to do. And, shame on the offensive coordinator if that's not in the game plan, because, with what we're doing right now, with what we have the capabilities to do, you got to get people back out of that box.
You have to. And, you have a tight end that you can use to attack the middle of the field. Why aren't they doing that? He's shown in last year and the little sample size this year that he can control the middle of the field.
Yeah.
There's not going to be many safeties coming down into the box to cover him, or corners. Middle linebackers probably don't have the speed to keep up, but then let him run through the middle of the field. Let him open up those lanes. Use some of your bigger wide receivers to run crossing routes with them too, to create mismatches through there. Chase can attack the middle of the field too. He's another big body. Pickens can too. He's another physical receiver that can go across the middle. Even Deontay can. They're not using the concepts for him, or when they do use them, the quarterback's either not seeing him or not having the time to see him and having to pick the check down because he's getting pressured right away.
This really makes me feel, Mike, and I said before a little bit, that there's a generation that's unfamiliar with a lot of things that they're about to see with this Steeler team. And this is the Steeler team that I grew up with in the 80s. It was a lot of 3 and out.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks. It's been a long time. But you know what? I've been saying for about 10 years now, whenever people start complaining about Ben and, any situation that had to do with Ben, I said, there's going to be life after Ben, believe it or not. And it's not going to be great times. And people just assumed that things fall into place when a quarterback like Ben retires. But you know what? It could be another lifetime, Mike. It could be another lifetime. It went from 1980 to 2004 or 2005, whenever Ben was drafted. So it could be a lifetime before we get that guy again. And you know how many Super Bowls we won between those two? Zero. So,
but now that leads us to this question: is it time for Kenny Pickett? We heard the chant.
I don't think so. He's the guy. He's my guy. I support him. I backed him since day one. However, I say you got to use this good problem that you have with these other quarterbacks. You know what? It wasn't like considering everything that was going on and the line, Mitch didn't have the most terrible outing ever. He wasn't getting sacked all day. He wasn't throwing a million interceptions. I believe he had 1 interception. It wasn't the worst thing ever. It was a 17-14 game that could have went either way. Let's say Gunnar doesn't botch that punt. We could have been, winning by 3 or 4 points. I don't think that it's necessary to go to Kenny now. I think if you want to keep the morale of the team up, maybe sometimes that energy brings a little bit of success. You've seen in sports here, Penguins bringing a new coach, all of a sudden, that energy comes and you play a different game. I don't know. I personally don't think that it's time for Kenny yet. I think when it's time for Kenny, you'll know.
Well, we have all these fans that they were clamoring for Kenny, even like people in the media and other fan websites were clamoring for Kenny to come into this game. But now all of a sudden they're saying it's not fair to put him in this week because it's a short week. Well, if he's the savior of your franchise, like a lot of these fans and people in the media are making him out to be, he should be able to come in a short notice. If you wanted him to come in this game halfway through to lead this team to victory, why can't he go up against Cleveland on a short week? If he is that good and going to be this great, as a lot of people will say he is going to be, he should be able to come in on a short notice and compete and win this game up against
The
Cleveland.
thing is, at the end of the day, the guy is still a rookie, and that's what a lot of people forget. The guy that's playing right now, he does have a couple playoff seasons under his belt. And I hate to keep going to this because he's not a great quarterback, but he was a top 5 pick out of college. Again, let Kenny learn. Let him watch the speed of the game. Let him get so comfortable that when he steps in, he will be able to perform positively. I don't think throwing your rookie in at this point in the game is a very smart move.
I was with you until this morning when I started reading all this stuff. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Just throw him in there. See what happens. If he's this good that all these fans are saying that he is, put him in there. He should be able to perform. If he can't perform and he loses out, oh well. Peyton Manning lost all of his rookie year. He won 1 or 2 games. Troy Aikman only won 1 game his rookie year. They won a Hall of Fame careers. So I don't want to hear fans saying, oh, well, we can't put him in there on short notice. Because what about his psyche? And it's not fair to him. Oh, well. This is the big boy league. This isn't Pitt. This is the ACC. This is the NFL. Either you have it or you don't. Go out there and prove it. Why does every other position get thrown out there except quarterback? Go out and play. If you're that good, go out and play.
Depending what happens in the next couple of weeks, if you're sitting at 1-3, I think then maybe you start considering Kenny. I'm not in a rush to bring Kenny in at this point. Nothing terrible is happening that isn't going to happen when Kenny comes in there. He's going to have the same issues that Mitch is going to have. He's going to have the same issues with the pocket being non-existent. I mean, there's, and I think I was telling you yesterday, it's to Kenny or to Mitch, I'm sorry, it's a crapshoot. He drops back and he doesn't know if he's going to have a pocket or not. So, that's always got to be in the back of your mind, just as a human being, knowing that, big 250-pound men are going to crush you. Like I said, I don't know if there's going to be much of a difference if you bring Kenny Pickett in at this point. It's not Mitch that's terrible. It's the line that's terrible. I think if the line was playing a little bit better, Mitch may play a little better. I just don't think it's necessary at this point or that smart of a move to bring Kenny in at this point. I say wait till we're 1-3. If we are 1-3, then maybe start thinking it over.
That I'm right there with you, but I just want to see all these fans want him in there, and the media wants him in there. Throw him in there. You know what?
Yeah.
Sink or swim. The Penguins threw an 18-year-old Marc-Andre Fleury in there. He played 18 games before he got set back down to juniors again. It did not affect his career at all. He's second, third all time in wins.
Yeah.
You either have it or you don't. So Kenny Pickett, your 24-year-old rookie, get in there, and you should be able to step in right away and play. Or you're just a 1-year college wonder. It's time to find out. I'm over it. Let's find out.
Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball a little bit, Mike. Why don't you give me your assessment? Give me your assessment on the defense, would you?
We lost a generational talent. Luckily, we have another one back there at safety. Without Minkah Fitzpatrick, we would be 0-2. And supposedly the self-proclaimed best defensive lineman in the league, Cam Heyward. Cam Heyward does not have that dog in him. He has that dong in him. That rookie lineman clapped his cheeks all game long. This guy did nothing all game long after talking all this smack all off season of how it's him and Aaron Donald. This guy did nothing. All of his tackles came after games. He had 5 tackles. All of them were downfield tackles. This guy is a joke. And fans act like he's the best. So there was no pass rush. He didn't hit the quarterback at all. I think he sniffed the quarterback. Did anyone go towards the quarterback? Where's Highsmith? Didn't see him anywhere. Where's the run stop? I didn't see Alulalu or Alululu or Ogunju. I'm not even pronouncing their name right because I don't even care anymore. These guys cannot stop the run. They generated no pass rush. It's terrible. Thank God we had Minka back there and Terrell Edmonds to control the deep part of the field. Everyone on this defense was a joke. But, hey, tip of my cap to Leal, 305-pound man, lining up in a 2-point stand, rushing the passer. That dude's a freak. I think he's going to be the next defensive end in this team that can carry on into, when Cam is on, into that role, into that Brett Kiesel role, into that Aaron Smith type role as a DN.
I agree with you. Believe it or not, I agree with you because the defensive line. Okay, here's the thing about this defense. They're taking all the credit for being this really good defense, and let's take Watt out and just put him aside for a second. Let's talk about what we have in there. They didn't. Not only did they not sack the quarterback, they did not only rush the quarterback. They were non-existent in the pass game. We had none, zero push on the quarterback at all. Not good. And then go to the run game. You might say, okay, well, at least they were stopping the run. These guys were getting pushed all over the place, Mike. Like you said, Ogunjobi, where was he at? Cam Heyward, where was he at? When an offensive lineman, you don't hear their name, that's a good thing. But when a defensive lineman, you don't hear their name, that's not such a good thing. You called the comparison between Aaron Donald and Cam Heyward. Cam Heyward all off season kept complaining, saying, why am I not in this category? Why am I not, mentioned along the top defensive lineman like Aaron Donald is? Well, this is why. Because Aaron Donald generally don't have these kind of games where he's invisible. Let's say that Aaron Donald doesn't put the numbers up that day. He's still not invisible. He's making his presence known. He's in the backfield. He's rushing. Cam Heyward is great, as good as a game. And, you can't take anything away from what he did in week 1 against Cincinnati. He was non-existent. The line, Alu, Ogunjobi, all these guys, non-existent. That kid, that Mac Jones, that was one of the big things as well. That kid had all the time in the world to throw. He wasn't the best receiver. He doesn't have, or not the best quarterback. He doesn't have the best receivers, but he did have enough time. He wasn't running for his life all day. And that was, you got to put that into consideration. I think mainly my call is it was the small things and the big plays. Small things and big plays are what decided the game. But you know what? That fits in there as well because he was able to make big plays because the small things were happening.
This defense gave up. Hold on. Stupid ad. 124 yards rushing. 124 yards rushing. That is unacceptable. Because once a team can control the ground game, guess what? That's opening up the passing game. Because now you're gonna put 8 men in the box now. You can bite on play fakes, and that comes down to that front three. You play a 3-4, you have to control the line, and they did not control the line at all. No, I don't think anyone drew a double team. It was sad and pathetic.
It was
rough. But hey, they were on the field too long. They were asked to do their job. They were, right. To them. That's why I love this town because this defense, it's still they're still getting praise like they're the Steelers of the 70s. They're still working on that clout from like 50 fucking years ago.
Right.
I made it 23
but on
minutes.
The other hand, Mike,
this episode before swearing, but this defense ruined it.
But you got to consider this as well. 2 games in, division rivalry at Cincinnati, the Patriots, Bill Belichick. We still only let up 37 points in 2 games, which is amongst the best in the league. So, is the defense? Should we be this hard on this defense?
Yes, it's one of the highest paid defenses in the league. Cam Heyward making $60 million from the Steelers. Where is he? You know, we have the highest paid edge or outside linebacker in the league. Where's he? Oh, missing the game again. Luckily, we have the highest paid safety in the league making plays. Otherwise, this team would be screwed.
Absolutely, man.
All that money in this defense can't do anything.
Yeah. What do I got here? The Steelers are 0-5 when TJ don't play. What does that tell you, Mike? We could always say the obvious. He's a really good player. He makes that much of an impact, but there's no way that it should make that much of a difference. And if that's the case, the defense really got to get back to the drawing board, because if one guy is out, which it could happen any given play, that.
Yeah.
The defense is good, is not going to play good enough to win for the rest of the season. Yeah, I mean, that's just crazy. They have to figure out what the hell they're doing on defense. They got to, and again, I don't blame it all on the defense. I think it was just an all-around poor game. They looked sloppy, they looked sluggish, and it wasn't pretty by any means on either side.
The only real good performances I've noticed in this game were Minka. Terrell Edmonds, nothing jumped off the screen that he was making bad plays. Presley Harvin and Chris Boswell.
Yeah.
Jalen Warren had some nice plays. That's about it.
What do you think about the linebackers, Mike? We Devin Bush leaves the game a little early with the foot. I think Miles Jack was solid. But of course, they run how many? 29 yards?
124 yards.
124 yards. Obviously, your middle linebacker isn't having the greatest time ever. What do you think of the linebackers' performance? And earlier, you did mention Highsmith, but give me some more take on your linebackers.
Where's Highsmith? He had 1 tackle for loss, 3 tackles overall. He disappeared. He's a Robin. He's not a Batman.
No.
The other 2 outside linebackers, I was not expecting anything from them, so I'm really not disappointed there. Middle linebackers, it's hard to gauge, because when your front 3 are not occupying blockers, and when linemen can get to the second level, it's hard for them. That's the whole point of that front 3 and the 3-4 is to eat space, eat blockers. We saw big snacks, Casey Hampton consistently getting double teamed. Aaron Smith, Brett Kiesel back in these guys would just control the line and let those 4 linebackers do their job. And these 3 are not doing that this year. So it's hard for me to gauge how these middle linebackers are doing. Miles Jack ended up with 14 tackles, but it's hard to tell. Were they good tackles or were they downfield?
It's kind of scary because a lot of these, like the Miami Dolphins, they beat New England up pretty bad in the first week. They came back yesterday and won. All of our division teams, the Jets beat them, the Dolphins beat them. It's kind of worrisome because we're supposedly the lower talent team on the list in the AFC North. So all those easy cupcake games that you're looking down the schedule seeing, they're all of a sudden not so easy cupcake games anymore.
No, this Jets team, we kind of talked about it. That they made steps in the offseason to improve. And they showed it. They showed it this week. They fought back to the bitter end. Who would have thought Joe Flacco would have a resurgence this late in his career?
Guy got ready to run 100 attempts so far in 2 games.
Yeah.
He threw the ball 59 and 44 times. Let me ask you this, Mike. Let me ask you this. At the state that he's in right now, Joe Flacco, and it's not going to happen, but would you feel more comfortable with Joe Flacco under center than with Mitch Trubisky?
Yeah. Just going off performance.
But again, Joe Flacco would have to play behind that offensive line just like Trubisky does.
That's true. But he's not looking as gun shy. And Trubisky, though, too, he shares some of this blame, too. You're watching him throw off the back foot, not setting his feet. But when he does set his feet, we saw some of those beautiful lasers.
Yeah.
That pass to Freiermuth, thunk right there. For that was a touchdown or 2-point for the touchdown. Then that pass to Deontay for the 2-point. So you see it's there. That talent's there. But it's on him, not offensive line, and the offensive coordinator. All 3 need to get on the same page, and I don't think it's going to happen, no matter who's in there.
You know what? A lot of times in week 2, you say there's a lot of season left, but sometimes when you're in week 2, that could be bad because if there's a lot of season left and you're not going to win a lot of football games, that doesn't sit as well.
No, it does not. It's going to be a long. I have a feeling it's going to be a long season. I think my 9-8 prediction is wrong.
Okay.
We're going to be picking in the top 10, and there's all these good college quarterbacks out there, and we're stuck with Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, you never know, man.
But I do hope. I do hope for the team because they are my team. I do root for them. I hope he turns out to be this franchise quarterback, and I hope I am wrong.
I hope you are too.
Yeah, I was wrong about Chris Kunitz for the Penguins. I thought he was a bum when we got him, but look, he helped us win a couple cups.
Absolutely, man. One of my favorites. Let's jump over to special teams. Here.
No, let's not.
Special teams. You said it. Boswell did fine. Harvin did fine. The big blunder of the game, probably, and I hate to call it a turning point because we were never really in control. But that play that where the ball hits off of Gunner's face mask, and then he fumbles, and then his evil twin Gunner brother that plays for New England, the guy that looks just like him and is built like him to a T, recovers it, and New England gets the ball in our territory and is able to capitalize on that. That was, probably the big blunder of the game. Is there anything that was bigger than that, Mike?
No. Because that was a huge swing.
Yeah.
From him doing that Gunner chokes. I might misspell chokes. I don't want to change it. I don't care.
But they, that's your job. Call fair catch, stand there and catch the ball. Nobody's allowed to hit you. Don't worry about anything. Catch the fucking ball. That's why you're there.
Yeah, it's disappointing. We're paying him 2.1. Like I saw on Twitter, someone said we're paying him 2.1 million to go fair catch and catch the ball and not fumble. He can't do that.
Not good. It's not good.
We get we finally get one of your little Bill Belichick, little midget, vanilla midget, white guys receiver from the Patriots, and he turns out to be a bust. I'm blaming.
I think I figured it out though. I told you this. I think that Bill Belichick keeps the memory card from these guys, and he inserts it in the new one, puts it in the next guy that's playing for them. Then he has that ability, and then the old one doesn't have it anymore because the memory card was taken.
You know what? That tracks. He is an evil genius.
He is. Let's go over some scores, some of the other scores from yesterday's game. Mike, I have the Chiefs, of course, they won 27-24. That was the Thursday game. Patriots over the Steelers, 17-14. The Giants, the New York Football Giants, beat the Panthers 19-16. I'm sorry about that. The Jets-Browns game was something. I mean, that was amazing. I didn't think for a million years that the Browns were going to lose this. I kind of chalked it up that they were winning. They're going to win. I went and did something else. Matter of fact, I said something to Mike. Mike says, no, the Jets won. I said, you got to be shitting me.
Yeah, they came out of nowhere.
The Jaguars 24, the Colts 0. That was
a surprise.
Yeah,
that was a huge surprise.
Miami 42, the Ravens 38. Another one that I thought the Ravens had. They were up what 21 points in the third, fourth quarter?
Like 21-22, yeah. Like both quarterbacks played amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20, the Saints 10. Big fight in that game. Apparently, Tom Brady threw one of the iPads, broke the iPad, benches got cleared, fights. Tell me a little bit. Do you know anything about the fight down there, Mike? I didn't see it.
I saw like all the aftermath. I never saw like what participated, but I think like Mike Evans was saying to one of us, it's Tom Brady, what do you want me to do? So apparently maybe he thought someone took a bad shot at Brady. Then he goes and just slams Marcus Lattimore down.
Yeah.
It's a big brawl. Bruce Arians, who's not even employed by the Buccaneers anymore, is out on the sidelines yelling at people. Like, people try to say he was a peacemaker, but he's up in the shit fighting. Everyone's fighting. There should, Mike Evans should get multiple game suspension because this isn't the first time he's done something like this. He's done it before in the past. He said he doesn't care that he gets suspended. He's showing no remorse for this. So yeah, he needs a long suspension, which sucks because he's a great receiver to watch play. This is what happens when you protect one player all the time. And then when he finally gets hit and boo-boos and the whole team cries, this is what happens. Why you should, he got preferential treatment his entire career. And now he's finding out what every other quarterback in this league, especially people like Ben and Cam Newton, had to deal with. And he doesn't know how to react, and his team doesn't know how to act.
Despite everybody in this league basically being 1-1 at this point.
That's what it feels like.
Tom Brady's 2-0. Say what you will.
Finds a way.
The Lions 36, the team formerly known as the Redskins 27.
Commanders.
Now, I pretty sure I picked the Lions in this game just because I was picking the Lions until they won, because we have a guest we had on. But the good news for the team formerly known as the Skins, they had
Commanders.
A player from right here down over the hill, Donovan Jeter, who was undrafted. He was playing with the Steelers in preseason. He did get some snaps and a tackle down there for Washington.
We could have used him on that D-line.
Yeah. So good for him. Keep it up, my man.
Heck yeah.
49ers 27-7 over Seattle Seahawks.
All this time they tried to get rid of Jimmy G, their franchise quarterback who they thought they had in Trey Lance, who sucked first week, breaks his leg, and then here comes Jimmy G.
Is it a broken leg?
It is, unfortunately. Yeah, I think he's
wow.
Yeah. I'm not making light of the injury. I'm just making light of the whole situation.
No, here's the thing. You get rid of Jimmy G, now you're in a disaster. You keep Jimmy G. Now this team is a competitor once again, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Jimmy G restructured his contract, and a lot of it was performance based now, and now it's looking like he will hit those performance bonuses to get his full money.
Yeah,
they thought they were screwing him over, and turns out he might make out in the end.
You know what? And this guy, he wins football games.
He does.
So let's see what they could do. The Rams 31, Falcons 27.
Aaron Donald's
the Cardinals 29, Raiders 23, which was another good game with
that game was insane.
What's that?
That game was insane.
The ending of that game?
It was nuts. The dude picking up the fumble, he's like a yard in the end zone, he throws it, then all the white people, all the media was flipping out. Oh, he didn't know if he was in. He was like a yard and a half in.
Yeah. That was an amazing. These games, you just can't say enough about them this weekend, man.
It was wild.
Broncos beat the Texans 16-9. The Cowboys over the Bengals, another crazy game, 20-7, with Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush, everybody.
Who's this guy?
You know what? Who is this guy? But he looked head and shoulders better than our quarterback. He was out there. He looked like he knew what he was doing. He looked like he had confidence. Again, he's not playing behind our line, but he does manage to get it done, 20-17 over the Bengals. Bengals are sitting at 0-2, who just came off a Super Bowl appearance. Everyone was expecting them to be riding high. They haven't won a meaningful game since the AFC Championship.
Nope. It's looking like they're regressing to the Bengals.
Yes, I love it. We called it. Finally, the Packers beat the Bears last night on Sunday night, 27-10. Two games. We got two Monday night games tonight, guys. We have the Titans at Bills. That's the first game, and then the Vikings at Eagles at 8:30. I think those are going to be two good games. I think I don't remember who I took, but if I'm looking at it right now, I think that I would take the Bills and the Vikings Eagle game. I'm not sure who I took. I think it was just depending on who you picked.
Yeah, I can't remember what I picked. I don't have my list with me today.
Yes.
I'm a terrible host.
Yeah, we had already noticed this, and not that you're a terrible host. However, we did notice that you didn't have your list, but that's fine.
Hey, I'm not Chris Jericho. I don't have my list handy.
That's right. Or like the baseball players now with that little list they have in their pocket. Maybe we'll make you carry around like a little list like you're a baseball player.
No, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to eat sunflower seeds as the play's going in. Glove off. I'll take my headset off, mute my mic, and just eat sunflower seeds.
Yes. But perhaps you'll remember the list tomorrow and we'll go over the games.
I will, because it's only fair because we got the Monday night games to go.
All right. You know what? Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Speaking of all things bad, the Pittsburgh Pirates get swept by the Mets, Mike. They get swept over the weekend. They lose Saturday 5-1 and Sunday 7-3. 4-game sweep. That drops the Pirates to 55-92 and 31.5 games back in the division. 55-92. I don't know off the top of my head. That sounds like 147-ish. So that gives them roughly 15 games left to lose. They only need to lose 8 more to reach the 100 mark. Hey, if anything, they are successful at that.
They are consistent.
Yes.
I give them credit. They're the only team in Pittsburgh that can lose consistently and not get blown and not have anyone really cry.
Yes.
Oh, even my child knows that.
The Pirates, tomorrow they start a 2-game series against the Yankees. It's the second half of the 2 that they played in Pittsburgh last month. They will be in the Bronx to play the Yankees, who are 88 and 58, looking great in their division. So, that this trip to New York might just get a little bit longer for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. I muted my mic. Look, I'm eating sunflower seeds. I'm like,
you with them seeds again.
Perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, I was,
So this so the Pirates lost 90 or more games in the 4 last entire seasons. Last 4 entire seasons, they lost 90 games or more.
But hey, it's okay. They're rebuilding. The Astros lost a bunch of games, and just look what happened to them. They ended up winning the World Series. They had to cheat, but at least they won.
Man, he's
if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Let me tell you some good baseball news. Not necessarily good for us, but if you like sports, you like baseball, you might enjoy this. Albert Pujols is at 698 home runs, Mike. 698. And he's got 2,200 RBIs, 2,200 RBIs. And there was something else that was pretty interesting with the Cardinals, which again, we don't like the Cardinals, but you know what? You got to give credit where credit is due. Mm-hmm. Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina, they broke the record for the most games as a starting battery. They have pitched and caught 325 games with one another, and they do own the record. Again, not our team, but that's good. That's cool shit, man.
I like it. Yeah. I like it.
Let me bounce back into football for 1 second. I do have this fact here, Mike. Yesterday was the first day that the Jaguars, Lions, and Jets all won on the same day since 2011. 2011. Ooh. Yes.
11
Jets,
years.
Lions, and Jaguars have never won on the same day since 11 years ago.
Gen Z finally got to witness history. Those 3 star franchises winning.
Yeah. There will be ketchup bottles. There will be ketchup bottles. Ketchup bottles. There's an agreement made. There was an agreement made with Heinz, Kraft Heinz in the Steelers organization. There will be ketchup bottles back to the stadium. They're not going to be the big ones that we've all known and loved. However, they will be digital on the screen, and they will have the Heinz Red Zone. So prepare, for that to be coming back here if you're going up to any games anytime this year.
That's more important than the Steelers stopping around this fan base. We got the ketchup bottles back. Everything is well. We just we got that now. We don't have to worry about anything else except the quarterback situation.
I'm just glad people are going to start eating Heinz ketchup again. They were getting so upset, Mike. I heard people saying they were never going to eat Heinz ketchup again. Just do away with the Heinz company, which is crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. We're watching this for football, aren't we, guys?
Yeah.
Mike, I seen this thing the other day. It was in Indonesia. They were boxing in a box. Basically, they stuck 2 guys in what was it would be comparable to an old telephone booth. And you watch it from above, and there's a cage that goes the whole way around, and you're just in there and they box each other. And they're boxing it, beating the shit out of each other, but it's in this confined space. I thought that was pretty cool. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to dance. It's just beating the shit out of each other.
I like it. The Steelers need to employ that for their offensive and defensive lines. Maybe then they will realize it's the person in front of you. You gotta fight that person somehow, and we can use that for blocking drills and pass rush drills and run stuffing drills. You're in that confined space.
Here's one, Mike. EJ Warner. Kurt Warner's son, EJ.
Mhm.
He's a quarterback at Temple. He just won the starting position as a freshman. I think that Kurt Warner was underrated. I think if he would have dedicated his whole career, and he kind of had that weird story where he came in and he was a little bit older, I think he could have been one of the greater quarterbacks ever.
Oh, he won 2 Super Bowls. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So
keep your eye out for EJ. EJ Warner.
Are you just being tongue in cheek? And I missed the sarcasm.
What's that?
Did I miss the sarcasm?
I don't know.
I probably did. I'm still irate about the Steelers team.
Hey, but look at it this way, guys. We only have a 3-day wait. They're going to be back. They're going to be on our television sets here before you know it. This is Monday, Thursday. They're the game to kick off the weekend. I'm excited about that. I tell you what, if they lose this game or if they get dominated or something, then you really got to start worrying. I think if they right now they just have to stay they got to stay in the hunt. And with everybody in the league being 1-1, we're not too bad off at this point. Unfortunately, there's still 15 more games to go. I love them. I love watching them. But like you said earlier, this really feels like it's going to be a long season, don't it?
It is going to be. Hey, at least, watching the Browns, we'll see a dominant defensive lineman playing in Myles Garrett.
Oh, that hurts, man.
We'll see a reason why he's rated 99 in Madden and why Cam Heyward is not. I just pissed off all of our listeners.
I do want to say before we switch
real quick. I am glad Cam's on our team and we don't have Myles Garrett. I just you got to stir the pot.
I do want to make an announcement before we exit the sports portion of the game. September 30th, everybody. September 30th. I believe that's next Friday, if I'm not mistaken. September 30th. Rock Solid Production, which is formerly Hit 'em Hard Music. They present Falls Fest, the Beauty and the Beast edition. Now, what this is going to be, it's going to be hosted by Diamond Lee and co-hosted by Cigarellos. It's going to be again September 30th at 8:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m., 10 o'clock to get in at Frank's Grill in Beaver Falls. We will talk more about it between now and then, but you might want to start considering going to the Rock Solid Entertainment's page. Check that out. Get caught up on your details and make some plans. Make some plans for next weekend, guys. Get out and see these people. There's going to be a lot of good acts down there, a lot of good musicians, a lot of performances. Get down to Frank's next Friday.
Nick, it's always a good time down there.
Absolutely, man. Man, now this one, Mike, I think I showed you over the weekend. I don't think it was real, but I got it off of a fellow podcaster's post. Man on meth fights off 15 cops while jerking off. Man on meth fights off 15 cops while jerking off.
I want this to be real so bad.
Yes.
Because this is what happens when you've reached the end of Pornhub and you have nothing else to watch. You have to find something to get yourself off of.
Right.
Or off with. And, apparently the only other thing after you've seen all the porn in the world is to get meth out of your mind and fight 15 cops. I just did he finish is what I want to know. That's the key part of the story.
That's what I want to know too, see?
Yeah, I just want to know if there was a happy ending or not.
Yes, the happy ending is the most important part.
And I knew the guy was white because it didn't end in the shooting.
I don't even know how to take that.
Just hey, normally when there's 15 cops called on someone doing something crazy.
Another one.
Let's do this.
We're gonna get canceled. I'm always worried about you getting us canceled. It's gonna be me.
Missouri woman nearly loses her $1 million lottery ticket when it almost ended up in the dump, Mike. She threw it away on accident.
Oh no.
One of those crazy freak out moments, tear all the garbage open in the neighborhood. We have to find this. But she did get her big ticket back, her $1 million lottery ticket that was almost lost in the dump, Mike.
That's something I would do. I would throw it away. I'd accidentally tear it, avoid it somehow. But I'm happy she got her lotto ticket back. Unless she was already
Absolutely.
wealthy. Then, but if she needs it, yeah. Last time God was picking lady. I stand in solidarity with you.
In Houston, a massive 11-foot alligator. 11-foot alligator. Think of where a basketball hoop is. Add a foot to that. An 11-foot alligator seen strolling through the Houston suburbs, Mike. Just strolling along. 11-foot long alligator.
Why not? Because when you think of alligators, you think Dallas. Is that what you said? Dallas? Houston?
Houston.
You see Houston, Dallas, same difference. Whatever. It is. It's Texas. But yeah, that's where I think alligators are. Let's go down, check out the Texans, go and check out the Astros, see how things are going.
Jack in the Box employee shoots at a customer after arguing over curly fries.
Heck yeah, I'm with the employee here. Of anyone who has worked with the service industry or retail, this is the dream.
Yes.
The customer is not always right. Sometimes the customer needs shot at.
Yes, I'm not sure where this was at, but it's a Jack in the Box, so it is nowhere around here. We do know that.
Hey,
but a lot of, and that's why I keep picking these headlines up, because they're just getting so much more common anymore with these these fights and people getting shot at fast food restaurants. It's insane.
As a former retail manager, this is the kind of problem solving you want to see from your team. We empower our employees to handle any and all situations. I'm just glad no one did the person get shot or just shot at?
It just says shot at.
All right, good. I'm glad no one got hurt. Because if they got hurt, I would not.
A city commissioner in Florida proposes paying bounties on iguanas, Mike. This commissioner is considering paying bounties on iguanas.
I'll go down there. I'll catch me some iguanas. As long as or is it dead or alive, or do they have to come in dead? Because I don't know how I feel about killing iguanas. They're cute.
I don't know. It depends. Depends on what that amount of money looks like, I guess.
Yeah. I'll set my morals aside for some money. I'll go down there and murk some iguanas. I just don't let Steve Irwin find out what I'm doing. I'll be happy.
I don't think you got to worry about that.
That's true, but you never know, man. I might be wrong about this whole ghost thing, and he come back and haunt me the rest of my life, and I don't want that.
Here's a big one. Pat Sajak, Mike, from the Wheel of Fortune, of course, is considering retiring. Which, you know what? He's been there 10,000 years. I say go for it, my man. Enjoy your life a little bit. But It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird flipping by.
And not seeing him or Alex Trebek. That's your 7:30 lineup.
Yeah.
Or your 7:38 lineup. Oh, man. That's wild.
I guess what really counts is Vanna White's still going to be there. That's the only one that really matters, right?
Yeah. Vanna still has a go.
She ain't bad, man. She don't look bad for I think
these TV hosts, I don't know why they stick. I understand why they stick around too long. They got the easiest gig in the world.
Absolutely.
But at some point, man, just retire. Go enjoy life. Spend that money that you have. You can't take it to the grave.
No, that would suck, man. It'd be crazy if you die.
Well, it's like
the big
Alex
purpose.
Trebek. He worked until he died. Till the cancer took him.
That'd be crazy if you die and you get on the other side and someone comes up to you and says, "So did you figure out the secret to bring all the money with you because you need it here?"
You're right.
One other side note, Mike, from the Steelers, I was reading that apparently if the Steelers are even in their reach, if you could even see the Super Bowl, like the playoffs start and they have a team that you're not expected to lose, the sales, the production for terrible towels can go up over 1 million. 1 million terrible towels if the team is just somewhat competitive right around the end of the season. That's a lot of terrible towels.
That's a lot of terrible towels, and that's a lot of front-running fans.
Yes.
Because I think we saw it last year when this team wasn't doing that well. There were a lot of empty seats at the stadium. There were empty seats this time. Don't be fair weather fans, guys. Stick out, support the team, man. You look at the Browns. You look at the Jets. Their fans are there. The Lions are there. Win or lose or lose or lose or lose. We've had 18 years. We've had a great 18-year run. Don't be flaking out on me now. Because I'm going to watch every game, no matter if we can lose every game from here on out. I'll be sitting there watching every game till the end because that's my team.
Absolutely. Just
Gotta
like you do
support
with
the
your
team.
Buccos.
Gotta support the team, like Cuddy said on Seinfeld. Gotta support the team.
Gotta support the team. Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
TwoDumbYinzers.com. You head over there. You have links to YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, our merchandise store. We also have links to the email. Everything you need 2DumbYinzers is at 2DumbYinzers.com.
There you have it, everybody. Mike, do you want to play? Do you want to play a round of trivia?
Sure, I don't have any writing utensils, but we got this.
Nah, you gotta go get a writing utensil.
Nah, I ain't getting it.
Now I'm gonna do it today. I'm gonna do a how well do you know your enemy? We got a Cleveland Browns. I have a Cleveland Browns trivia for you, Mike.
All right.
Pretend you have a pencil. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. The Browns' colors are orange. Their name is the Browns. Knowing all that information, the elf, Mike, the elf that they chose, their fans voted to put in the middle of their field between four logos, probably a dog's head, a football helmet, other things. The elf, Mike, the elf that's on the middle of the Cleveland Browns football field will be seen Thursday night. Can you name that elf? He has a name. That weird little elf that's in the middle of the field that used to be on their for their uniforms back in the 50s and 60s, I think was a character for the team. Can you name, Mike, that elf? Their color is orange. Their name is Browns. What is that elf's name? And
oh my God. No, the Browns and the Browns fans. That could be something stupid. Not something awesome like stealing. It's the greatest game ever. Like a male stripper. That little brown dude, elf little logo they have with demonic.
All right, Mike. So the Cleveland Browns, their color is orange. Their name is the Browns. And that elf that's smack dab in the middle of their field, of course, his name is
Brownie.
Brownie. Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
Do you want to stick with that, or do you want to change that?
I'm going to stick with that. The anticipation's killing us all. Just sitting there.
That is correct. That is correct. I'm sure that neither of us would have got that right, but we did have a conversation recently between Mike and myself trying to figure out what the hell the purpose of this
I'm just glad I remember.
is. Apparently, they used it as a marketing thing back in the day, the 40s, 50s, whenever the hell they thought they were good. They had used this little elf, and now it made its way back through vote and popular demand of the people of Cleveland. It is in the middle of their field, and again, we will see that Thursday night.
Ugh.
Mike, do you have anything? I mean, this is season 3, episode 1. Have anything that you want to say before we take off, man?
Yeah, we're coming at you hot like a meth needle on the first of the month.
And you know what? One thing that I did forget to say, this is National Talk Like a Pirate Day, Mike. So, arr. So there you
God, for lame.
Hey, we could have went along the lines of, the team's going to be good this year. We're rebuilding. Those are acceptable things that Pirates say.
This is true.
But we went with ARG, and that's what makes us awesome. But hey,
Yes,
I
it
do want
is.
to thank everybody. Thank you for coming back and joining us back for season 3. We're totally grateful. We hope that you had a nice weekend after the long weekend that we took off. Mike didn't go anywhere. He just laid on the couch. But we do thank you, everybody, coming back, supporting us. Season 3 is kicked off and on its way. We do hope that you keep continuing to watch us. We are on every single day, still Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. over here on YouTube. And then if you want to check us out later in the day just to listen to us, which I can't imagine why, unless it's Mike's face, I get that, then you could go over to Spotify after 8 o'clock and just listen to the show. So there you have it, everybody. We thank you so much. Mike, Ryan, season 3, have a great day.